Hi friends, welcome back to Teaching in Room 9, our region's largest classroom. My name is Julia and I'm one of the second grade teachers at the Soulard School. But here for Teaching in Room 9, all of my lessons focus on math for second graders, but everyone's always encouraged to join. Welcome back, friends. I hope that you're having a really good start to your week. I'm so excited that we can be here again together. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day so that we can learn here together. All right, before we jump in, friends, you know that I love to start our learning together by doing our mindfulness exercise called the Mindful Minute. This way we can help to recenter our body, push out any thoughts or feelings we maybe had from earlier on in the day. And this way I know that you are able to feel centered, focused, ready to learn here together with me. All right, so we're gonna take a couple of deep breaths here. I'm gonna ask that you stand because we are gonna come back to that fall or autumn yoga that we've been working on so far this week. And you'll need to be standing for those. So go ahead and stand with your feet flat and firm on the ground, about shoulder width apart. We are going to take a deep breath in through our nose, counting to 3, breathe out through our mouth, counting to 3. Ready? Breathe in. Out. Nice. Breathe in. And out. And breathe in through your nose. And breathe out through your mouth. Right, keep taking those deep breaths in and out. Notice how your chest rises and falls as you breathe in and out. And we are going to move into Warrior 3 pose because in the fall, birds start to fly south to the winter time for warmer weather, and then they'll migrate back in the spring. So you're going to kind of create the shape of a bird with your body. You're going to stand on one leg. Okay, you're going to extend the other leg behind you as high up as you can. Bend your torso, which is like your stomach and your chest area. And you're going to bend it forward and take your arms out to the side, just like this. You can even, if you want, flap your wings just like a bird. Okay, let's go into Warrior 3. Arms out to the side, breathe out. Nice job. Keeping your torso, your leg you're standing on, and the leg that you have extended behind you nice and firm. Nice job, friends. Okay, keep taking deep breaths in and out. All right, and now we are going to move into chair pose because farmers harvest their crops before the frost in the winter. So you'll see a lot of different autumn crops and vegetables, and farmers will begin to harvest their crops. So we're going to stand tall in mountain pose, okay? And then with your feet hip width apart or shoulder width apart, you're going to bend your knees and pretend that you are sitting on a chair or that you're sitting back into the seat of a tractor as you're harvesting your crops. Okay, breathe in, arms up, and out. And sit down in your tractor. Nice, arms down. Our last pose of the day today, friends. You are going to pretend you are a bear that is preparing to sleep in its den because they will hibernate for the winter time. So we're gonna go into downward facing dog. Maybe you've done this pose before. Okay, so take a deep breath in through your nose. Lift your arms up and then breathe out through your mouth, and you're going to sort of walk your hands forward just like this. And you want your feet to be flat on the ground so you feel that stretch in the back of your legs. Okay, and you're gonna kind of create a V with your body. Okay, and you're breathing in and out. As you do that downward facing dog, sometimes I like to breathe in and then out, and I walk my hands forward. So that might feel easier for you. Nice job, friends. I hope that you enjoyed doing that autumn yoga with us today. Again, we did Warrior 3 pose. That was the birds flying south for the winter. We did chair pose, pretending we were a farmer sitting in our tractor as we harvest our crops. And then we did downward facing dog, where we pretended that we were a bear walking into its den to hibernate for the winter. You guys did so amazing. Are you ready to go ahead and jump into our learning goals for today? All right, so again, we put them in I can statements so you guys know exactly what you're able to do or know at the end of our lessons. So this week, all of our lessons are focusing on the learning goal of I can use my understanding of place value to add and subtract all the way up to 1,000. So we're dealing with 2 and 3-digit numbers and also single-digit numbers as well. And then also it says, I can use number lines and fact families. So we've talked a lot about our math brain and what makes sense to us and how someone's math brain might look different than another friend's math brain. So we like to give you so many different tools and strategies to keep in your toolkit so that way you are able to figure out what works best for you, what makes the most sense to your brain, and then you're able to use and focus on that strategy. So we're specifically focusing on being able to solve addition and subtraction, creating fact families with our 2 addition and 2 subtraction equations, and using number lines for us to be able to solve as well. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and swing you guys this way so that you can see our fact families chart here. We're gonna solve a different set of fact family numbers today here together. So again, it says fact families are a group of related addition and subtraction facts. Again, my brain hears that word related, and that makes me think fact family. The addition subtraction facts are related in the same way that you are related to members of your family. Then I drew a house here with a little roof at the top to show us our fact family. And when you set up your fact family with your 3 numbers in the roof, you're always going to want to put the largest number at the top and then your other 2 parts in those corners of the roof. And then you can put all 4 of our addition and subtraction equations there in the center of the house. And some other ways that you guys might see fact families displayed, it says think. You might see this part, whole model here where it's like a rectangle. Half of it is your largest whole number at the top, and then the 2 parts, the 2 numbers that come together to make this top number. So this is our part, whole model, and then down here you can see our number bond model as well, where you're gonna have a large circle off to the side where that will have your sum or your whole, your largest number, and then you'll have your 2 parts sort of shooting off to the side to show that these 2 numbers come together to make this larger number. So again, these are the 3 different ways that we've kind of reviewed to display your fact families. We've got our triangle, or if you want to go ahead and make the whole house to write your equations underneath, you may. But you're always going to put your largest number, that whole number, at the top of your triangle. Then you have your part, whole model with the largest number at top and your 2 parts at the bottom, and the number bond model with your largest number off to the side here and your 2 parts conjoining or coming together to show that these 2 parts come together to make this whole. Now, are you guys ready to go ahead and solve this here together? So we know fact families are 4 sets of facts. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 facts ready to be filled in here. And they're going to include the same 3 numbers. So if you're trying to figure out whether or not an equation is within that same fact family, an easy way to always just look right at it and know is, does it have these 3 numbers? If you see another number in there that's not the same as those 3, then you know it is not a member of that fact family. All right, and I've also got it here together as well with snap cubes. So we've got our 5, and that's represented right here with our yellow snap cubes. Let's count them together, friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here is our 5 yellow snap cubes, and that is this part right here. Now let's look at the other part, the 7. Let's make sure we have the right number of cubes. Go ahead and count with me, friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got our 7 brown snap cubes and our 5 yellow snap cubes. And they come together to make our whole number of 12. Let's make sure that we have the right amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Nice job. So we have 12 altogether. So we've just solved our very first equation here. We had our 5 yellow. So I have the number 5 here. We're going to add that right here. Then I added on my 7 brown snap cubes, which gave me a total or a sum of 12 altogether. Okay, so we've got 5 plus 7 equals 12. Okay, now remember, friends, I had my 5 yellow plus 7 brown gave me 12 altogether. Now, if I know I have 12 snap cubes right here, if I flip it this way, do I still have 12? Yeah, you're absolutely right, friends. If you said yes, you are so smart and you're amazing. We have the same number of cubes, whether they are facing this way or this way or this way or this way. It's the same number. I didn't add any on, I didn't take any away. So if we just switch and now I've got 7 on one side and 5 on the other, we still have 12. So let's go ahead and fill that one in too. Okay, we've got 7 plus 5 equals 12. So it doesn't matter if it's 5 plus 7 or 7 plus 5, we're still going to get that same sum or that same whole of 12. Now we're getting to those last 2 subtraction problems. We're always going to start again with our biggest number and then we take away. So our biggest number in our fact family is that whole or that sum of 12. So I'm going to start it with the 12 here. Then if I've got my 12 and I take away my 7, how many do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice job. So I had 12. I took away my 7. 12 minus 7 equals 5. And then now again, we know with our subtraction, we always start with that biggest number. So again, we're going to start with this whole number of 12. So both of our subtraction equations start with the 12. And in the last one, I subtracted 7 to get 5. So on this one, here's my 12. I'm going to take away 5. So let's add that minus 5. And it gave me, I took away my 5. Now I have this many left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's my 7. So all 4 of my equations use the same 3 numbers. Okay? 5 plus 7 equals 12. 7 plus 5 equals 12. 12 take away 7 gives us 5. 12 take away 5 gives us 7. Using those same 3 numbers for all 4 equations. Nice job, friends. Hopefully these fact families are starting to make more sense to your brain. Maybe you just needed a little bit of a refresher. But we'll keep practicing different examples here this week. And I will give you our new scenario that we have for today. And we'll use fact families and our number lines to solve. So let's review our number line chart as well. Now that we went over our fact families, we've got number lines here. We see that the smaller the numbers are getting are going this way. Here, our numbers are getting larger. So these are less than, and these are greater than. Okay, so we just have to look at which way our numbers are going. And then you can see that both sides have an arrow. And that's because it says here, number lines go on with no end. Okay, we just are zooming in on one small part of the number line. And then we also learned that these little marks here right above our numbers are called tick marks. All right, so let's figure out a new example here. It says, what is the missing number? So you can see that I've added my Post-its already right here. And we're wanting to figure out what this missing number is. So the first number I have over the tick is 21, 22, missing number, 24, 25, 26, 27. So it says we're gonna start at the number we know and we're gonna count on. So we started at 21 and we counted 21, 22, missing number, 24, 25, 26, 27. What do you think is our missing number? If you said 23, you got it. If not, no worries. But let's look at it again. Now we can see that we're just counting up and we're just going up one each time. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Now we also want to figure out what does point J, so we see our J right here, represent. So I'm looking at my numbers here. I see 2, 4, 6, J, 10, 12, 14. And I want to find a number that I know and count on. So I started at 2, but I noticed something about this number line. First it was 2, then 4, then 6, then 8, then 10, 12, 14, 16. So what is our J? Maybe you heard me just say it. It is 8. Nice job, friends. So I had to notice that we were skip counting by 2s. 2, 4, 6. I knew that 8 came next when I skipped counting by 2s. 10, 12, 14, and so on. All right, last but not least on our practice with our number lines here before we get to our new scenario, it says order the numbers. We've got the number 135, 105, and 195. So our number line is between 100 and 200. So we want to put the numbers in order. So the best way that we do that is we find the halfway mark and then we can order our numbers. So 100, 200, halfway between 100 and 200 is 150. All right, now we want to pick the smallest number. At least I think it's easiest to pick the smallest number first. So which is the smallest? 105, 135, or 195? If you said 105, you are absolutely right. 105 is only 5 ones bigger than 100. So we're going to put it really close to the 100 right here. Just show that 105 is super close to 100. Then, is 135 our next biggest or 195? If you said 135, you got it, friends. If not, no worries. So right here in the middle is 150. Is 135 before 150 or after? Yeah. If you said before, you got it. If not, no worries. We are stretching our brains here together, friends, and we are working so hard to solve this here together. If this little tick mark right here is 150, 135 would be just before that. So we have 105 really close to the 100, 135 close to the center, and then 195 is our biggest number that we're ordering here. And this is only 5 away from 200. So I'm going to put it right next to that 200 as well. All right, I hope that this is starting to make more sense to you and you're feeling more comfortable using number lines and fact families. So I'm going to swing you guys back around this way here. and scoot you back out so you can see my number line here today. All right, now our new scenario that we have for today is that I need $20 in order for me to buy a new toy. Okay, so I need $20 in order for me to buy a new toy. So $20 is how much I need altogether. So that is going to be my biggest number. So I'm going to put my 20 over here. Now, I already have $8 in my bank account or my piggy bank. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've already got this 8. Now I need to know how much more do I need in order to get to 20. Okay, so if I've got my 8, how many more do I need to get to 20? Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 plus 8 gives us 20 cubes here all together. Look how long this is. All right, so we had $8 already. Then I did some chores and I was able to earn 12 more dollars. And then I had enough money for my new toy. Okay, since I knew I also had $8 to start, let's look at our number line now. So I'm gonna find my 8. I can see my 8 right here, okay? I wanna get to 20, which is this number right here. Are you guys ready to help me do some frog jumps as we jump down our number line? Okay, ready? Ribbit, 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 ribbit. Lots of jumps that our frog did there. Let's go ahead and count how many jumps we made. So here we started at 8. I needed to get to 20. I jumped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I was also able to use my number line in order for me to figure out if I had $8, how many more did I need to get to 20? So we know that our green is our 8 and our 12 is this orange one here and gives us a total of 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 8 plus 12 equals 20. Now, if I do this, do I still have the same number of cubes here? If you said yes, you're absolutely right. Whether I'm doing it like this or like this, I still have the same number of cubes or those same 20 cubes. I didn't add any cubes on and I didn't take any cubes away. So we can switch this here and we know that we're still gonna have 20. So if I maybe had $12 to start and then I did some more chores and I earned $8 more, then I would have my total of $20 in order for me to get my new toy. Okay, so same thing, we could start on our 12 right here in order to get to 20, and I could count my jumps. Okay, so count with me, friends, while we do our jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 jumps. So I started at 12, I jumped 8, and I landed at 20 when I was doing my frog jumps. Nice job. Now we have to figure out our 2 subtraction equations. So say I know that my toy cost me $20 total. Okay, so I know that this is how much money I need to have. Okay, so I again got all my 20 here. We always start our subtraction ones with our biggest number, our whole, and then we can subtract the parts. So if I started at 20 here, let's erase some of these jumps. Okay. So I started at 20 and I want to take away 8. Say I already knew that I had $8 in my bank account. So I took away 8. So how much money do I need to earn from doing chores in order for me to get that $20 that I need? Okay, so I start at 20, I jump back 8 because I already have $8. 20 minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I landed at 12. So I need to earn $12 more in order for me to have the $20 I need to buy a new toy. All right. Now we know, again, that we're going to start with this biggest number. So I'm going to go ahead and write 20 here. That's how much my toy costs, and I already know that. So let's erase our hops so we can hop together. Again, I'm going to start at 20. I've already got $12. So I want to know how much I need. So I'm going to take away my 12. Okay, so we're going to hop back 12. Are you guys ready to help me count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We did 12 jumps back, so I know now that I landed at 8. So I need $8 more to earn from chores so that I'm able to reach that $20 I need to buy that new toy that I'm wanting so much. So here's our fact, families, friends. Again, 8 and 12 together make 20. 12 plus 8 together makes 20. 20 take away 8 is 12, and 20 take away 12 is 8. So we used our fact family and our cubes and our number lines for us to be able to figure it out. Thanks for all your hard work. You guys are amazing. See you next time. Bye.
Teaching in Room 9 is made possible with support of Bank of America, Dana Brown Charitable Trust, Emerson, and viewers like you.